Welcome to the Encinitas Chamber Chat Live podcast. I'm Carol Knight with the Encinitas Chamber of Commerce. With the help from my talented friends at Max Deluxe, we will showcase the many aspects and unique qualities of the Encinitas community. Whether it be focusing on local business owners, advice from experts, or highlighting some of the local gems Encinitas has to offer, we hope you'll find this podcast informational and entertaining. The Encinitas Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with Miracosta College, will be hosting a hiring and career fair on May 11th at the San Leo campus. The Chamber has been working with the college over the past year or so on developing this partnership, and I'm thrilled to have with me today Lynn Bigsby, who's a key player in that budding relationship. Lynn is here to talk a little bit about the career fair and the hiring fair, as well as other benefits and offerings the college has to offer. Welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Carol. I'm excited to be here and talk with you today.
Miracosta College has an important presence in the Encinitas community. What is your role there?
So I'm the Employer Relations Liaison, and so my role is to increase jobs, internships, and work-based learning opportunities for students, while at the same time helping our employers and businesses, organizations in the community in their talent pipeline development. So the real crux of the position is to help increase equitability and socioeconomic mobility.
All right, before we even get to that, because that's a large job, how did you find yourself at Miracosta College?
So I have over 20 years experience in career education, 10 years working in local high schools within the career technical education, or CTE, developing child development, interior design too, but child development, fashion design, and culinary arts at the high school level, and then in middle school, CTE prep courses and also dance PE. And then I also worked for several years in career readiness and workforce development training within the K through 14.
So you were a teacher in the schools?
Yes, in San Diego District.
Oh, really? And are you from the area?
I am. So I was born and raised in North County, San Diego, and I still live here today.
Oh my gosh, that's great. So what a varied past you have. Design, culinary. So how do you transition that into the work that you're doing today at Miracosta?
So all of it at the basis is career education. And my real passion and what kind of was culminating from all the years is that really the need to bridge education with industry. I just saw students really wanting to know, what the connection was between what they were learning in class and what they were going to do with it in industry. And so that's where, I found myself really attracted to this position. And I was a Miracosta alumni, and I just really am an advocate for the community colleges.
So I have a son who's a junior in college, and he's trying to balance that right now, trying to find some internships for the summer between his junior and senior year, and then already looking post-graduation and how he can connect with those businesses and really apply what his education is. So it seems like there's a big leap somehow between what you're studying and then your career. How do you bridge that gap?
So one of the things we do is called work-based learning, and that's one of the areas that I work with employers in connecting. And so work-based learning connects education industry in three ways. It's exploration, so students may be doing an informational interview or doing a work site tour, something to just kind of explore different career pathways and see what they're interested in. Connecting the dots between what they're learning and what they would do with it in industry. So that could be doing an internship and kind of seeing if it's a good fit for them. It could be having a mentor, somebody, and kind of learning a little bit more about a particular career path, or actual experience, which would be things like apprenticeships or internships where they're gaining and an actual job experience where they're gaining actual experience in that career path.
All right, so as a student at Miracosta College, I just go to the Career Center. How do I get hooked up with someone like you to really guide me through the process?
Yes. So my role is really only employer facing.
Okay.
So I'm not student facing. But in the Career Center, we have an internship coordinator. We have a student employment coordinator. We have various people who help review resumes that can set up and do mock interviews. So all kinds of things to help students to be able to connect. And then we also have our job and internship network, which is our JANE is the acronym. And that's where students can go on and look for jobs and internships on that board and apply. And then they can get application help in the Career Center as well.
Right. All right. So you're tasked with bringing those employers to the college, to the students. So how do you go about doing that?
So in several ways. So one is through chamber membership, right? And so I will go to different events, and a lot of times it's really interesting because I find that often our businesses and organizations don't necessarily also see the connection between the college and their business. And so I'm really there to kind of help bring awareness to that connection, and that, we have programs that are aligned with the jobs and internships that they have available. And so it's really kind of bringing that awareness there. So I will meet somebody, maybe get their card information, and then we'll follow up and do a meeting where I can share all of the different ways that they can collaborate with Miracosta, which kind of falls into about 5 categories.
Okay.
So one is, like I said, to post jobs on our job and internship network. They can also
Now, can any employer in North County or San Diego post on your?
For the most part,
or that you be vetted first?
They do a little bit. There has to be some parameters. There's some things like a home business. Sometimes they're not able to post, but it depends. For the most part, yes, there's a vetting process, but they can post. Internship. So that's a great opportunity for both the employer and the student to kind of get a test drive and see if it's a good fit for them. Like I said, work-based learning opportunities, which you might think is only benefiting the student, but actually the employer can vet students when they come. So if they come to like one of our meet and greet type of opportunities that we have, they can sit down, and if there's a student who, or let's say they're doing a resume review, if there's a student who really stands out to them, then they can make that connection with them, and it helps their talent pipeline.
Right.
So that's a couple of the different ways. They can also join our advisory boards, and with that, they actually get to have a voice in the curriculum that we have. So yearly, we have advisory boards where our curriculum is reviewed by industry professionals, and they make sure that it's up to date and relevant for what the skills are that are needed today. And then one of the other ways is because our courses are affordable, and like I said, they have the relevant curriculum, employers can actually skill build their current employees who are maybe looking for career advancement. Maybe they're interested in transferring within the business. Or maybe they found that there's a skill gap, and by taking some courses, they could fill that gap. So there's many different opportunities for collaboration.
What a huge resource.
Yes.
All right. So I know you're more on the employee side, but let's talk a little bit about the San Leo campus and what it has to offer. As you know, you've been to a couple of our Rising Star breakfasts where we recognize seniors in the San Diego Union High School District who have overcome some sort of challenge, whether it be home life, learning, language, cultural challenge, but are still putting education first. And we've had the pleasure of the dean speaking at our breakfast to really talk about the breadth and depth of programs that the college has to offer, which I think a lot of people don't know. And I wasn't fully aware when my son was in high school what a local college had to offer. So can you touch on that a little bit, and then we'll get back to the
yes, and I am going to need to reference my notes because since I mainly have this main role, the outreach part of it is not as much what I do, but I have some information here. So one of the things touching on the high school part is dual enrollment. So high school students can actually, free of charge, earn college credit while in high school. So they're earning those units by being duly enrolled within their high school and Miracosta at the same time.
There's a plus right there.
Yes. Our offerings are convenient and flexible because students can take online courses, and then we have several campuses that are here in North County. So whatever is the best fit for them, they can take courses there. In addition to our bachelor's degree program, which I was going to mention that. So Miracosta actually has a bachelor's degree program in addition to our 85 degrees and certificates.
Oh, I did not realize that.
We
All
did,
right.
yeah.
So not just associates, they have the whole bachelor's?
No, we have one particular one. And the way that we're able to do it is because it fits kind of a niche that some of the other four-year institutions didn't offer.
Got it.
And so that's within our life science biotech sector. So we have that one, but we also have additional partnerships with Point Loma Nazarene. And so we have some accelerated bachelor programs in business, nursing, child development, computer information technology, and criminal justice through Point Loma Nazarene, but on our San Alejo campus.
Okay.
So it's a little confusing, but it's a great opportunity there.
And I also learned from the dean that you're really trying to make it, the San Alejo campus, a one-stop shop, basically, so students don't necessarily have to go up to Oceanside to take classes as well, right?
Yes. I know they're definitely kind of expanding, and he kind of alluded to some new things that I haven't even been made aware of yet that are going to be happening this next year at San Alejo campus.
And another benefit I know to many of the students and the parents, but it's a good accelerator to get into a UC college or a Cal State college?
Both.
Okay.
Yes. So one other thing too, so we also have the Promise program. So the Promise program is where for the first 2 years of college, full-time, first-time students can attend Miracosta tuition free. So that in combination with what you were talking about, which is our guarantee transfer. So the guarantee transfer is after the 2 years. So our students whose goal is to go to a 4-year school, which not all of them do have that goal. Some really do want to just get a certificate or associate's degree. But for those with the goal, we have a transfer admission guarantee, or the tag, with 6 different UC schools. And so after the 2 years, students are guaranteed to transfer to the school. And then we have some support within our California State University, some support programs for that transfer. So this is what I hear a lot. Actually, when I've been at some of the chamber events, I've heard, my daughter got to go to Miracosta for 2 years for free and then transfer to her first choice school, whereas her friends who wanted to really go straight to the 4-year didn't get into their first choice school and then also had to pay for all 4 years. Right. So, it's a great program.
It really is a good program. And I know my son is one of the, COVID high school experiences. And a lot of his friends decided to go that route because they just weren't quite ready. I think academically, perhaps they didn't feel quite ready either. And then they were home for so long that it was hard when you were home for 2 years straight, right? Hard to actually go and leave. So, a couple of his friends have gone through Miracosta and now they're at UCLA or one of the other universities. So I think that's very, very beneficial. And it seemed to be, it was much more of a secret, but I think it's something that is such a benefit to so many families and students.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's a secret that we need to get out there, right? Because if it can benefit families, in that way, and with the costs of student loans and everything else, it makes sense.
Right. All right. So let's focus back on a little bit more of what your job is and how to really connect those businesses and the students and the businesses in the college and what those opportunities are. You sit on the Chamber's Economic Development Committee as well as the Membership and Networking Committee.
The Education
and Networking Committee. Yeah. So I should know my committees. So tell me how you got involved in that and how you see a benefit to you personally. with your work at Miracosta, but also the benefits other members and businesses could benefit from?
So really for both of those, that premise is really, again, bridging education and industry. So with the Economic and Business Development Committee, in that role, I kind of help with the workforce development arm. So bringing that awareness again to our businesses to understand that we are a workforce development institution, really, and so we're really a viable source for them to tap into for their talent. So that's on that side, and then for the education and education networking committee. For that one, really for, again, to bridge so that the businesses see that what great programs the education institutions have, both in the high schools and then with Miracosta. And so the high schools can also connect, the high schools in Miracosta can also connect with the different businesses. So
that's good, and I'm happy to have you on that committee. I think the youth, all those students are really an untapped market. And again, going back, I hate to keep going back, but to that Rising Star Breakfast, when you hear these kids speak, yes, and how involved they are with their community, how they are involved with their school community, and being really creative and filling niches on their campus or within their community. I mean, the future is in good hands.
Yes.
I mean, it really is amazing for you. So for you to be able to feed them into a business or vice versa, or make those businesses aware of sort of the talent pool locally, I think is a huge benefit to the community.
Yes, yes.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Hiring and Career Collab Fair that's upcoming on May 11th. Yes.
So I'm really excited about this event because it's a great collaboration between the Chamber and then also Miracosta. And so May 11th from 10 to 1. And we will have, it's really there to support the businesses as well as students. And it's at the same time kind of a community engagement event. So we will have campus tours, and people can come and register for Miracosta. We're going to have an employer panel kind of talking about hiring practices. Have some resume review, not so much of a workshop, but kind of drop-ins where they can people can come and have a resume reviewed. And then at the same time, there's going to be the farmers market going on. So that'll be in full swing, so people can get a coffee, grab a lunch, come check out the career fair, maybe go do some shopping there. So it's just a great kind of a community feel event that, supports so many different areas for both the college and the community.
So what type of employers do you have so far? I mean, we're still a month or so out, so.
We are. So we have a variety, kind of across the board. So we have some that are within education. We have some that are, one that was within computer science. There's, I know Seaside Market was on there with a whole variety of different things, catering and some other things I think they just added in today. And we've got some healthcare, so really kind of across the board.
And how many employers do you think are going to be there?
So we're anticipating around 30. So because we will also be having, it's a resource fair as well. Okay. So we'll have some tables with Miracosta so that people can also learn about our different programs that are offered at the San Alejo campus, and then be able to interact there as well. So altogether, we'll probably have about 40 tables.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's really good. 10 to 2?
10 to 1.
10 to 1. Okay. All right. So also on the Miracosta San Alejo campus is the SBDC.
Yes.
So do you work with them closely?
I do. So especially this year, pretty much for every single event that we've had, I've invited them to come out.
I guess we should say what that is.
Oh, SBDC. Okay.
Sorry, that was my mistake.
So the San Diego Small Business Development Center. So they really are a great support service for entrepreneurs and people starting their own business and continuing on with a small business. And so I learned about them, and I was kind of trying to figure out how we could best work together. Yeah. And then I, was thinking that basically for every single one of our programs, there could be an entrepreneur that's interested in starting a business in that area. So it makes sense to have them there, especially because some of the different programs that we have, or really any college has, can be difficult for people to find a higher wage position in. Mm-hmm. Sometimes some of the arts and some of the other sports and certain things can be difficult. Whereas if you're an entrepreneur and maybe you have your own personal training, let's say business versus working for, another business, which is great to get a start, but, long term, right. In order to earn a higher wage, that's an opportunity. So we want to make sure that students are really aware of kind of the gamut of opportunities out there.
Yeah, we had Cheryl on a few months ago, and she's just a wealth of information. I mean, it's great just to have it right on your campus. It's very convenient, obviously for budding entrepreneurs, but really for anyone in the Encinitas community as well, or North County.
Yes, and so that's another thing. They will be tabling at the event. And so even if there's people in the community who want to come out and learn a little bit more about their services, they'll be there too.
Right, and I imagine some of those employers will tap into some of the resources that you'll have, not just the potential employees.
Yeah, they definitely
because I don't think you don't know what you don't know,
exactly.
right? Until you're like, oh, maybe I could use that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Excellent,
exactly.
Excellent. Anything else you want to share with us today?
I did. Well, so I did want to mention that Miracosta is actually celebrating their 90th birthday this year.
See, this Chamber's 60. You've got a few years on us.
Yes. So they we started out as a wing at Oceanside High School, and now we serve over 27,000 students at 4 different campuses. Wow. Yeah, so that's
all right. So cool. Santa Leo, Oceanside.
Santa Leo and Oceanside are 2 credit campuses, and this is where it gets a little bit confusing. Then we have another campus in Oceanside that's our non-credit campus. So that campus has some short-term certifications. Also our high school diploma completion program, ESL programs, as well as some others. And then they're also continuing to develop some of their short-term career certificates, career program certificates. And then our not-for-credit campus is in Carlsbad, and that's our TCI campus, or Technical Career Institute campus. And they have not-for-credit, so meaning that the programs that they take are not applied towards a certificate or associate's degree, but they have their own certificate programs that are short-term for people who really just kind of want to get in, as they say, get their education and get out into the industry. Okay. So those 4 different campuses, each kind of with its own niche area to support, all different areas of needs in our community.
Yeah, and Oceanside and Santa Leo also do some adult education classes, right?
They do. Most of our adult education is at the non-credit campus, but there could also be some additional
I get the catalog.
Courses
I
there.
think, I really should freshen up or learn this, or I don't know, polish up my French, something like that.
Yes, yeah. I know that sometimes there's other courses speckled throughout too.
All right, so that's big for the 90th. What else do you have planned?
So the 90th birthday, a couple other things to know: that Miracosta is a designated Hispanic serving institution, which means that over 25% of our population identifies as Hispanic or Latinx. I did mention that we have the over 85 degrees and certificates. And one of the things I didn't mention is that I am also an alumni of Miracosta.
You are.
I am, and I took...
Like to practice what you preach.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I took everything from dance to psychology to even winemaking. And the courses I took in dance actually allowed me to be able to teach dance PE because I had a supplemental credential in dance from all the courses I had from community college. So.
Well, our favorite podcast producer, Rob, is also an alum of Miracosta and is really now back involved in doing a lot of the filming of some of your events and things like that. So I love how it comes full circle. It's great.
And also out at some of our events, sharing his story and passing it on to students. So.
Yeah, and I think that's important for everyone to hear. Now you have a daughter; she's young, so she's not quite on the post. High school, secondary, right? Is she an elementary, middle schooler?
She's at elementary school, yes.
Okay,
So
all right. But you're laying good groundwork for her.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, it was wonderful to have you today. I so appreciate your participation in the Chamber and our committees and our growing relationship with Miracosta College. And I'm really excited about the hiring and the Career Collab Fair. So it will be great. If anyone wants more information on that specifically, where should they go?
So 2 places can reach out to me at Lynn Bigsby. It's LBIGSBY at miracosta.edu, or of course they can reach out to the Chamber. And definitely, if we still have a few spots left for tabling, and if not, just mark your calendar to come and join us at that day.
Right. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to our sponsor, Max Lux. Join us again for the next episode of Encinitas Chamber Chat Live. For more information on the Chamber and its activities, please visit encinidaschamber.com.